Hi guys, OB Dave here. And she is I am Ash. Don't know what you're doing, it's usually me that you're usually well up for it.
I know. I thought I'd flip the coin.
But I've had years worth of that. I know what to do. I can hold down the fort. I
distracted you once or twice.
Let's try it again then. Hi guys, OB Dave here. And she is I am Ash. She's from Africa originally. You lost the suntan in a skiing accident.
Oh no, I was always this pale. I even got bullied at school for it.
Yeah.
Like the only African that was that white. And I've tried to tell.
Well,
I've tried. My mom is British though, so
yeah.
I inherited her very, very pale skin.
I suppose they murder all the albinos and make medicine out of them, don't they? So you probably were the whitest one there.
Makes sense why my dad kept me secret. I'm joking.
Maybe you're just a very tanned albino.
Maybe.
And you're wearing contacts, so I've not seen your red eyes yet.
Maybe.
That's how you talk nonsense for an intro, anyway. Right then, we've just done a Theo Vaughan compilation. It was Theo's best one-liners, and there was loads of great one-liners in there, but
terrible
the actual
editing.
Edit was terrible.
Horrendous.
And very distracting at points.
Very distracting.
Still good.
It was good. But like some of the one-liners were absolute gold. Proper held me short, Elaine. But
the one about
being too gay.
Yeah, I think it's gayer to cry when you find out a man's got AIDS than it is to get an AIDS by a guy. And it's like, come on, Theo.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, it was the message to Kate to suck his nuts.
So we're going to go into another Theo Vaughan. We're actually going to do Theo and Shane Gillis are getting ready for the Uprising. I have not seen it. It's 7 days ago the clip was released, and it's on Theo's second channel, his clip channel.
Yeah.
So it's legit.
Sorry for yawning, it's a little late here.
It's not going to be a dodgy compilation. But Shane Gillis is one of the funniest guys out there at the moment.
Sweet.
Deserves... I mean, we've reacted to him.
I know, we love him.
Yeah, Gillian Keeves and some of his stand-up. Fully, in my opinion, even though I don't know
Also his
him.
Saturday Night monologue.
Saturday Night Live monologue, yeah, you're right. I think he fully deserves all the success he's getting.
He does. He seems like such a nice, down-to-earth guy, and he's so funny. He's so funny.
Yeah.
Super talented.
So him and Theo Vaughan together should be a decent combination.
Yeah. I think you've shown me clips of some of the stuff they've talked about. Like,
I think
we reacted to like a podcast.
I think they may have just done a podcast recently, and this is from that. But they've definitely... I've seen them interact together before, and they're a good combo.
Okay.
So yeah, let's check it out. Theo and Shane Gillis are getting ready for the Uprising.
Okay.
As are we.
What, zombies?
Zombies, maniacs. I don't know. Southerners.
Goats.
Whatever.
Yeah, what do you think the next 10 years of life is like in America? Do you think it gets bad?
I don't know. Yeah, the bums. Somebody's got to fix this problem. I don't know what it is.
Which problem?
The bums, dude.
Oh, the bums.
There's a lot of bums.
Yeah, I say arm them. That's where I'm at. And
Okay.
send them all towards the big, like, businesses. That's what I would do.
Oh.
Tell corporate America.
No. Give them guns. Tell them.
Not guns, I wouldn't say.
Oh, even worse, like machetes and shit. No. What type of arms?
Something, if they're well behaved, it turns into a weapon. So, like a bow staff that has maybe a blade on the end, but they have to put both hands on it, and it can tell if you're being good or not.
Test your heart rate. If it's too high, you're not getting it.
No. You need low heart rate. Yeah. Warriors.
So we're talking,
I don't like using the term bums. Okay. I like using the term boots on the ground.
Those are boots on the ground.
Heroes of society and stepdads.
Yes. I'm talking giving them turtle weapons to homeless guys. Let's just see what happens.
Oh, I'm talking give them the fucking, the Donatello what's it called? Rag for your eyes, like a thing that holds your eyes in, but it doesn't. It's like
Zorro mask.
Yeah, Zorro mask. That would be good. And to lead them, they're going to need leaders. You could do it.
You think I could lead the bums?
Yeah, get you a horse.
They would respect a horse. They're like fucking the Aztecs. Just a guy on a horse, they'd be like, this guy, he's a god.
Somebody rolls up on a horse, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm just
They
trying.
are impervious to a lot of fucking damage.
Horses?
No, the horses. Homeless people. Yeah, they get fucking walk-through tasers.
Well, they've been infected by so much. They've
Yeah.
battled so many things. We got tased after a show in Shreveport, and here's the crazy part. I started doing comedy in Louisiana, and so we go to sometimes Shreveport, and afterwards, this was 15 years ago. They'd say, "Hey man, we'll tase you if you want." You know, the cops would come up and tase people in the bar because there's just not a lot of like nightlife.
No way.
So here I am 15 years later, show's over, we're sitting around with a couple of officers, and one of them goes, with a couple of off-duty police people,
Yeah.
and one of them goes, "Hey man, we'll tase you if you want." And I was like, no fucking way, you guys are still doing that shit. And they lit us all up. We got it together as a group and locked arms or whatever.
Nice.
Like a Harvey Milk kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And then they lit us up.
How'd it feel? It hurt?
I have to say, like, obviously because they're passing the charge along, aren't they?
Yeah.
But don't tasers have like a barb?
They've got 2 barbs.
So no, but the way they do, so they to hook into the skin. So that's why they would have just attached it to them rather than actually shoot them with the, the proper taser.
I wonder if being hooked into clothes but making contact with skin is enough. Because
How many
essentially,
volts is it?
you just got to complete the current at the end of the day. So
It's like when we all were kids and touching electric fences.
licking batteries. I used to do that quite a lot. As you can
we
probably
did too.
tell.
Although I told you, like, at boarding school, we obviously with our little Discmans, if the batteries died, if you chew them, it brings the battery acid to the surface and it like almost recharges the batteries, or leaving them on the windowsill in the sunlight recharges them. And the number of times I'd be like biting around the battery and then get like a mouthful of acid and like, bleh! Now you know what's wrong with me.
Battery acid in the mouth.
Yeah, I know, it sucks.
Wow.
You know, it's not as bad as you would think.
Really?
At all. It's definitely a little bit of a surprise, you know?
It's gotta feel weird.
It feels like somebody in the fucking like great beyond pressed a fucking doorbell that you didn't know was connected to you, you know?
Yeah. It's actually really, yeah.
But the pain it's not as painful, it's just as surprising as could be. It's like extremely surprising.
They can go through the tasers. They can go through a lot.
Well, they're immune to a lot of disease.
Yeah.
Well, at a certain point, that would be a lot of society too. Is, you know, we'd all be out there just, I don't know. You'd be immune to all the things because you are still alive on the streets.
Yeah.
And you'd want to probably strike back against the rich. When we do this, okay, sorry. Where do we meet up? That's a question I want to know. And that's a big question.
I'm trying to think of there's good cities for this. Austin's a very good city.
Where do you meet up for the revolution?
The mother.
Capitol building.
Oh, God. You had to, didn't you?
I wasn't there, allegedly.
Austin's a very good city.
Where do you meet up for the revolution?
The mothership, dude. 6th Street. That's perfect, dude.
Bro, half of our military would overdose,
I know.
okay, on fucking Fireball, all right, before we even made it to the first 5G tower, okay?
Yeah, there's gonna be some attrition. There's gonna be some guys going AWOL. It's gonna be tough keeping the troops together.
Dude, I wouldn't call a guy who wants to sing karaoke all night somebody going.
We're going to 6th Street. We're taking that out. The bums rising up on 6.
Okay, now that if we take 6th Street out, that would be that I like.
Yeah.
And you're going to recruit a lot of talented young people. You could probably get, you know, some of the Texas Longhorns, maybe.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yep. Quinn Ewers, he's staying another year. He'd join probably.
I thought we were just recruiting homeless people.
But I think other people are going to get jealous when they start to see you doing well.
Yeah.
They're like, "Ah, fuck, I'll do it."
The masks and the swords and shit.
Yeah, because Sig Ep is going to be nothing against a fucking homeless battalion.
Okay. Sig Ep might be number 1.
Bro,
we might go down frat row and just.
Yeah, dude.
I don't want the boys getting into a sorority. But I will say no sorority. I'll command them. I'll say leave the queens alone.
Yeah, leave the women
our white
alone.
queens alone.
Isn't it? Now, if you want to get into some of these young fellas,
Rock these boys, dude.
and that's
Is Sig Ep like a gay frat house then? Is that what they were getting at there?
No, he's saying... I thought he was just saying sorority, like a girls' sorority.
I thought he said...
Because he said white queens, as in like...
Yeah, but that's why I thought he was talking about...
Like in Mean Girls.
Because he said light them boys up. So I'm wondering if
so
like Sig
you
Ep
can
is
go
like...
for the boys, as in like leave the queens.
But if it was a gay sorority, you'd call them queens.
I misinterpreted that entirely. Because he said leave the white queens.
Yeah.
So I thought he meant like just high class white girls. Because that's usually what a sorority.
I don't want the boys getting into a sorority. But I will say no sorority. I'll command them. I'll say leave the queens alone.
Yeah, leave the women
our
alone.
white queens alone.
Isn't it? Now, if you want to get into some of these young fellas,
Rock these boys, dude.
Maybe.
then that's up to you, dude. If you want to get into some fucking Sigma Alpha Epstein over here and see what these fellas are doing.
That's the bum army is gonna be tough to control, dude.
But I don't think control is the one term.
I know, but they're gonna get loose, dude. They're gonna fucking every victory. They're gonna rape everybody.
Jesus Christ.
They're gonna fucking turn on each other right away.
No, they won't, Shane.
Yes, they will, dude.
No, they won't. I've seen them support each other. I saw a bum like living in a sofa, like in the cushion, in the bottom part. And I saw a guy come and tuck him into bed one night in the park near my house. You don't see that in America anymore. Dude, they had some bums by us, and because we live right by a park, and they stole a bunch of high school music equipment, I guess. So all night they would be in the fucking park. I guess someone stole the sheet music too, right? So, bro,
that's so
it's
nice.
It's 3 a.m. and you hear somebody on a flute just playing. It's like "Love the Way You Lie" by like Eminem and Rihanna. And people are like, "Shut the fuck up!"
That's a jam sesh.
Love the way you lie.
And the marching band, dude. It's a good night.
It's fucking sick. But so, dude, so the first, so you say you meet up at the Comedy Mothership?
I'm saying it, yeah, I think that's a good location.
Okay, that's one
somewhere
group.
On 6th Street.
Okay, that's fair.
You can get a battalion there.
You can't say you have to have a location. You can't have homeless or semi-homeless people storming a fucking,
oh, you're talking about first
Jenny's
battle?
ice cream or something.
I thought we were just meeting. I think it would be a good test to try to get the Mothership, because then you got Rogan in there.
Okay.
You got his team of security.
Yeah, you'd have Joey Diaz, probably would be the chef.
You got to test your fucking might against them.
What do you mean?
It's a good first battle.
Against who? The local police?
I'm saying send the bums into the Mothership and see who wins. It's a good test.
Hold on, dude. We're never going to work there again. This is not a good choice, dude.
All right. Not the Mothership.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you can
I will
meet up.
lead. I'm trying to think of where would you lead your bum army?
You can meet up out front of it. Well, I think you have to pick like 5 or 6 places in the Americas to meet up. So I think you're going to have for sure
K&A in Philadelphia. That's the street.
It is?
Yeah.
K&A in Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kensington
and what?
Allegheny.
And Allegheny. Yeah.
You get them in there.
Bro, crossing the Allegheny that goes all the way back to the 1912, dude.
Yeah.
Or whenever, sometime around then.
Crossing the Delaware. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
This is the army. They're encamped right now.
Oh, hell yeah. And it says no one deserves what.
Have you seen much of the sort of things about the homeless problem in the States?
No. I mean, I've heard it talked about a lot, and it's appalling, isn't it?
I've watched a few.
It must be so difficult for people.
It's crazy, like in some places where it's just full no-go areas, and people like... You saw a bit of it in Manchester over here, where the spice epidemic started, and people were just like bent over backwards, just kind of zombified in the street and
awful
stuff. But a lot of the stuff I've seen is like there's certain areas where loads of people are just like that all the time, and it's all like fentanyl and things like that, and it's really tragic to see.
It is really sad.
Proper grim.
That is so sad.
What's brewing in Kensington? Now, the tough part is to keep your army excited. You are going to need over-the-counter meds, probably. Or under-the-counter. I don't know which one it is.
I think they're getting over.
Okay.
I think over-the-counter led them there.
But it's crazy that the people who are... because society has led people to believe, be in this space,
Yeah, my bad on saying we should send the bums in to the mothership.
No, I think, look.
That'd be a tough one to get in. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of security there.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good first round. You know what I mean? Week 1.
Yeah, I support it, actually. I say we send it, you dispatch a unit.
See how they do.
Yeah.
And then we test to say that's like the final boss. Let's see how we can do against some crack security and guys with guns.
Oh, yeah.
And
You're never going to be able to beat fucking Little Debbie or fucking Nextel or any of these Facebook if you can't take out a comedy club. Do you feel like we could really end up in our lifetime as heading to a revolution or some sort of a like a place where where it all topples over, Because all it takes is really, I've thought about this. All it takes is a couple of people, like at police stations. All it takes is a couple of people to be like, "Hey, I'm not going to follow the rules anymore."
Yeah.
And and then other people are like, "Well, I'm not going to." If this guy's, and then it's just nobody's, because we're kind of getting there. It feels like, I feel like kind of people just kind of are like, if nobody's going to follow the rules, then why do everybody's kind of getting there? It feels like sometimes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just making it exciting for the conversation. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how wrong you are. Maybe people are out there not following rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to start a revolution, but
at a certain point, if enough people say, okay, I'm not going to drive within the lines, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to follow the speed limit. It's almost just like that. Like every now and then, like
but that has immediate consequences for whoever's doing it. They're going to crash. Usually,
But if enough people are like, well, fuck it, I'm not waiting because there's an emergency up there. I'm not going to wait for an hour. I'm just going to go do what I want. But it's just that attitude. If I'm just going to do it, and then
other countries do that.
Yeah,
Haiti. Yeah. You go in the traffic jams and shit there, like in India. You ever watch that?
Oh, they just do. Yeah, people. Yeah,
and they're doing all right.
Yeah, you just wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like
they
improv,
are so
isn't it?
random,
Yeah.
but it's so funny that they egg each other on and support each other. It's like they get it without getting each other. They're just so good together without meaning to be good together. It's a bizarre combination. Like to have an entire conversation over building a bum army, but also then highlighting how severe the homelessness in America is, and then the companies that are to blame for it, and obviously like why it would be like the heroes of society would be the poor taking out the rich, but making a complete and utter joke about the whole thing and just talking random rubbish, like a truth-telling staff that turns into a spear.
I know. That's Theo's mind all over. Like Shane's a proper history buff, so like he actually knows a lot about history in general. It's one of his like big interests.
Right.
So there he's like playing with Theo, I think, because he knows the answer to a lot of these questions
Probably.
already.
He's good though. He's really funny.
I think people only get away with as much as they're allowed to get away with, and when there's a soft touch, then people will get away with more. And as soon as things tighten up, people will be like, whoa, because it's a bit of a game when there's no consequences.
Yeah, see how far you can take it.
When there's consequences, people don't. You see it in this country. It's exactly so. I don't think there'll be a revolution.
No.
If there is ever...
But it's always the minority that then, ruins it for the majority, and that's the case, isn't it? It's just exactly what you've explained. So a few people will start doing something, and it's a collection, and then it just gets shut down. And then that's it. End of the revolution. They've obviously learned very quickly after many, many generations of revolutions.
Did you ever see that place in, I can't remember what city it was in America, but people took over a few blocks and declared it, I think it was called Chad, and they declared it as a free state, and it was basically a load of like anarchists and idiots basically. And they took over and they were like, there's going to be no crime, it's going to be like collective farming and like blah blah blah, and instantly people are like getting robbed, someone got shot. They weren't allowing the police in, and they weren't allowing medics in and stuff.
Wow.
They said they were completely anti-government, anarchy, we're going to run it ourselves. And then like there's a video of one of them and she's like, yeah, and this is our vegetable patch, and it's like this tiny little bit of dirt, and it's like, everyone's just stealing, like we're gonna have to find a good video on it so I can show you what really happened.
Yeah, because
This was like during the pandemic, and the police won't go in.
How did I not hear of
It
this?
kind of just basically got
That makes me think of that movie Project X, where they literally like
the
managed
party
to.
that gets
Yeah.
out. Yeah, no, this was a lot of people that were like anti-government and all banded together and took over literally a few blocks of the city. I wanted to say it was it Chad?
Chad Free State of Jones. Officially the
Republic
Republic
of
of Chad, an independent state at the crossroads of North and Central America. The landlocked country is bordered by Libya.
No, there's a country called Chad as well. Maybe I'm thinking of Chaz, is it? Was it?
Chaz.
Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone.
It's
Chaz.
Chaz, yeah. Water, food and soap was given to people for free. Gave toilets to the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone and cleaned up their trash. The area functioned as a space for demonstrations and artistic expressions. The existence of Chaz was relatively short-lived, as the Seattle Police Department eventually reclaimed the precinct and dismantled the zone in early 2020.
We're gonna have to find a good video about that so I can show you like the madness and some of the
It
just.
sounds like it.
It was crazy.
It does make me immediately think of Project X when they try and shut down the party and the whole, like, obviously everybody there is just like, nope. And then eventually it gets shut down, obviously.
Yeah, of course it always does.
Always does.
So would a revolution. Everything would, because you've got the army.
Well, it was like the riots here, the London and Manchester riots. They eventually, like, they even practiced bringing in martial law, and they obviously got the military ready to deploy. If it was that case, it would have been shut down in seconds.
But the cops are overwhelmed a lot of the time because their hands are tied and they can't just go shooting everyone.
No, I know.
And then if the decision was made, no, start using live rounds, it'd be over in a heartbeat.
I know. But no. But I
Anyway,
don't agree
we're debating
with it.
something else.
I know, yeah.
We're going to go on. Right. Make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers for watching. As always, it does mean the absolute world to us. And we will see you soon.
Bye, guys.